Hello, the Pokemon fan 1993 here, back with another video. So, quick question. Everyone remember this thing. This is what they used to use for older 3DS games. It's called a Powersave for 3DS. Essentially, what happens is you stick one end in the computer, your cartridge in the bottom slot here. You download the Powersave software, and essentially what it does is it lets you modify Pokemon or create Pokemon in general. I don't like creating Pokemon because I actually ruin one of my games that way. But now we're gonna actually look. I have here on my my Sun game. So you see I have a level 18 bundle buy with Double Slap, Mud Slap, Takedown, and Mud Shot. So what I'm going to be using this for is I'm going to be actually teaching Bumblebee the last 4 moves it knows without actually leveling it up. So I'm going to teach it Bounce, Super Fang, Facade, and Earthquake. So this video is going to split the several parts that I need to switch between my phone and my computer a couple times. So just be looking forward to that one. Alright, so here we are with my thing up here. You're going to see that I have Powersaves right here. You can see that I did a couple of backups to make sure that my game didn't get screwed up. So what you're going to do, you're going to put Powersaves 3DS, you're going to go to Untitled. Keep in mind you need you need to do this in order to run the software. You download it for whatever you want to download it for and you open it. So you're going to see that earlier I got it. So you go show and I'm going to open it up from here. I'm going to the application. It's going to ask you to run it. You're going to hit yes. Set it for English, and then you want to go through the entire thing where it's going to ask you to do everything. And basically what it's going to do is going to install it, and this is going to pop up. You need, in order to run the 3DS Powersaves, I recommend getting an actual package, because you need a number that's on the package, or a sheet of paper that says the package, otherwise you can't access it. But that's basically how you set it up. You set it up wherever you want to set it up. And now I have the 3DS cartridge in with a thing. So this actually took me a lot longer than I wanted it to, mainly because I think this thing is 11 years old, at least. So it was having a really hard time, like, keeping the software, so I managed to balance it just barely enough to the point where it's going to keep this active, because it's really sensitive, so I managed to do that. So we're going to look at Bumblebee real quick, Bumblebee stats. So like I said, the last 4 moves that it can learn is Bounce, Super Fang, Facade, and Earthquake. So, we're going to go to Powersaves. Actually, we're going to open this up. We're going to minimize this. Easier that way. So, we're going to go to Powersaves. And we're going to go to codes. So, you're going to see that I have a bunch of codes here. So, what I do with Bumblebee is I put them in the first slot of my Pokemon. First slot of the first box. So, basically, I can go to item codes. You're going to see that I have berry codes, medicine codes, TM codes, tool codes, and Z crystal codes. Under language modifier codes, I can change them into several languages such as Japanese, English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Korean, and Chinese. Miscellaneous codes includes cash code, Pokemon codes. You can see that I have, and then we have all complete Pokédex, 9,999 battle points, 99,909 FC collected. Have all Sun and Moon unreleased clothing, Island Scanner, have 100 points, and unlock all battle styles. Go to cash codes. You can see I can get max cash or $50,000 cash. You can get Pokebeans and Rainbow Pokebeans for the the Pokemon Island one. Because I have Pokemon codes, I have the ability codes, affection codes, alternate form codes, battle streak codes, modifier codes, cloning codes, which is usually the one I usually use because it's easy to do, enjoyment codes, EV slot codes, experience, friendship, fullness codes, IV codes, move modifier, which we're going to be using, nature codes, Pokeball, Pokemon Cotton Ball, Pokemon and box slot codes. There's just a lot of stuff here. If I go into a lot of them, like, usually they have skin modifier codes. I don't understand why you would want to do that, but you can actually fake slot. You can see this is the one you can use this right here, but I find that there's a lot of issues with getting the Pokemon set up right. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to minimize a lot of this stuff so we don't have to keep scrolling through everything. So what we're going to actually do here is we're going into Pokemon codes. And we are going to kind of just go through a bit of it here. We're going to do a couple things here. So the Bumblebee that I had was actually Adamant. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change it to Jolly. Now I highly recommend you do this, but essentially I try to do one thing at a time. That way the game doesn't get confused. So I'm going to set Jolly, so I hit apply. So it's going to write the cartridge. It's going to upload the save. It's going to process the server. It's going to download the save, and it's going to write over that part of the cartridge. depending on what you do, it will take longer or shorter depending on what you decide to do. For example, making a Pokemon is going to take a lot longer than it's just messing with one of their natures. So we did that. Now, what else we're going to do here is we're going to give it Pokerus. We're going to apply that. And then we're going to go into Moon Modifier codes, and we're going to give it Bounce, Super Fang, Facade, and Earthquake. Which, Bundle Blaze level 18, it doesn't learn Bounce until 38, Super Fang until 42, Facade until 47, or Earthquake till 49. So, okay, so we're actually going to do one more thing too. We're going to modify, we're going to modify that Bundle Bee to be shiny as well. Just to make it seem like like you can tell the bigger difference, the more stuff I really do to it. But I want to sit here for the next 20 minutes and just mess everything for it. So I'm going to do some of the more basic stuff. Now, when you do a shiny Pokemon this way, it actually overwrites the ID of the Pokemon, so you might have to deal with that. Okay, so we're going to unselect all now. And we're going to go into Pokemon and box codes. You can also modify which Pokeball they came in. That's not really important, at least in my opinion. So we're going to move Modifier. We're going to move one code. So this is interesting because what I have to do is I have to manually select it from all the Poke cards they have. So we're going to start with Bounce. So Bounce, it's all in alphabetical order, so you got to find Bounce. We're going to put Bounce for box slot 1, okay? We are going to go, we're going to have to scroll down quite a bit here to get past all this stuff. Okay. Move 2 code is going to be Super Fang, which is all the way in the S's. See if I can find it. Super Fang, right there. Scroll down, we're going to get Facade for the move 3 code, so that's going to be the F. We're going to scroll down just a little bit here. Facade. And now we're going to go to the last modifier code, which I'm going to make it. Hang on. Did I go too far? I think I might have gone too far. Yeah, move 4 codes, and we're going to select Earthquake. Should be easy to find considering it's EA, which means it should be near the top of the E section. Earthquake. Because we're going to apply all that stuff. Now, obviously, doing this while, it's going to say you don't move the cartridge. That is highly not recommended because I've mentioned this before, actually, but I actually was kind of careless with this power save, and I messed with my Pokemon Y a lot, to the point where, how do I put this? I can't save in the game anymore. If I save, there is a 75% chance that I get an error code that says, "Oh, the save data could not be recovered." And even if I was to close the thing and not do it, if I open it up, sometimes it would just say, "Well, the save data still can't be required." So you literally cannot save in that game, and it's actually very frustrating. So I highly recommend you be very, very careful if you ever use one of these because it can screw your game up. I'm not lying to you guys. I would not lie about something like this. Okay, so that is part 2 of this video. We're going to move on to part 3 now. And we are back with part 3, so you're going to see that I have Pokemon Sun put back in my 3DS. If that Bundle Bee came out the way it should have 4 different moves. It should have Earthquake, Facade, Super Fang, and Bounce. It should be shiny, and it should be a Jolly nature. It should not be adamant anymore. So now we're going to open up the PC. And we're going to see that he is Jolly, he has Pokerus, he is shiny, and he has Bounce, Super Fang, Facade, and Earthquake. So there are other methods you can use for this, but I've decided to just kind of make like an example. Just be warned, like I said, that tampering with this way too much or using it way too often might actually result in a game crash and might actually break your game as a whole. But you're going to see that if I go through some of my other boxes real quick. You're going to see that I've used the cloning quite a few times. You're going to see I have clones of several Pokemon, including Darkrai and all that. The only thing I can tell you about a cloning of that Pokemon this way is that they might not be able to be traded or used because I think the game recognizes they're clones or something. They're not the original data. So anyway, that's going to do it for this Pokemon Powersave demonstration. I thank everyone for watching. This is the Pokemon Fan 1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.